it will create a sphere of energy, of conscious energy, which is happening already around the world. I know this is somewhat of a review here, but I will tie this into where we're going with the presentation. What's fascinating also is that I move in a lot of different circles. I have been in aerospace for a great deal of time. I have worked with the military on many different levels, in lasers and network security, things like that. What's fascinating is that these guys are actually starting to get it. They really are. And there are quite a few issues within the ranks where they realize that the path we're going can only lead into the destruction of the country and to world war. And they don't want to go there. And there's a lot of pushback. A lot of pushback. They're beginning to pull back the other way. The veterans who have already been through this nonsense, they already know. And they're digging in. And they're getting ready to say no. So this is all very positive. It may not look like it because there's a lot of friction. But it is positive because what we're doing is we're standing up and saying, you know what? Enough is enough. And that is the first step. It really is the first step. That's encouraging to many of the extraterrestrial races who have been sitting up there watching us, who have been visiting the Earth, who have been in underground facilities in the ocean, who have been interacting with humans and having contacts with many different human beings all over the planet. Billy Meyer is not the only one. There are many. They're encouraged because now they feel like they have something to work with. Because whatever they do to intervene, to intercede, it has to empower us. Otherwise, it's futile. If we will not take responsibility for ourselves, for our homes, for our planets, for each other, there's nothing to work with. They're extremely encouraged. So much so that the Andromedan Council has begun discussing mentorship of Earth. And as of right now, there are 4 races who have already signed up. And genetically, they are connected to Earth. Now, genetically connected to Earth means that they have been here in the past. They have probably been some of the gods that they worshipped, who have left offspring and have created civilizations. Okay? Here. And we're the remnants of it. This is why we have already so many different races. There's a lot more to all this. We also have a situation where our solar system is moving through a very particular part of the galaxy. We are moving through a plasma belt. We are moving through the galactic plane. And this causes a lot of shifts. It changes everything. It's like the ultimate Mercury retrograde. Okay. Which can be pretty scary, actually. So, I'm going to sit down. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. The bad guys are about to play their last trump card. They're done. They're already done. Okay? We have begun the process of freeing ourselves from all this shit. Bravo. Bravo. We have done what centuries we are about to do, what centuries of human beings have not been able to do. And that is get the big picture and realize that we are all one. That no matter how much we disagree, you're my brother, you're my sister, and there's nothing I can do to change that. We have to figure out how to live together, and in reality, we can live together. We can. it's ridiculous to think we can't. In fact, we have to really work hard at not learning to live together. Okay? War is the enemy. It is not the solution. It has become the enemy. We have technology that we simply cannot control, and we have technology that we don't even know about. Free energy, you've heard Mr. Allen's talk last night, for those of you who are here. There are many others talking about free energy. We have it. In fact, cold fusion has been nailed. It does exist. A program working under DARPA has solved it, and literally for under $2 million, they can build a system that can power a city of 50,000 people indefinitely. It's a done deal, but they're sitting on it. They're sitting on propulsion systems that could take us to the stars. They're sitting on magneto drives that we could put in automobiles that can run forever. Electric cars. They're sitting on this. Even though you paid for it, we built the technology, okay? We don't own it. Private corporations do. But that's okay. That's okay. Because in the end, they won't be here. Okay? They're done. Okay? It's all done. Now, what we have to focus on is what we want to create. Mentorship is not where we are saved, we are rescued. They're going to come down and police our streets. That is not what this is about. Okay? In their opinion, the idea of mentorship is to show you the possibilities. And the first thing that they would do would be, number one, to introduce us to ourselves. Give us some real, genuine history, and probably show us on the planet where that history is, so we can then again dig it up and prove it to ourselves. This is who we are. This is where we come from. This is what really happened. Okay? And this is where all the programs of war and hate and greed have come from. Okay? These are all learned behaviors, ladies and gentlemen. These are all learned behaviors. When we left the creation, when we left God, Great Spirit, we didn't have this crap with us. These are all learned behaviors. We all fell into time, and then we decided to try the light, and then try the dark, and then try the light, and then try the dark, and see how far we could go, and how we would come back home. Okay, it's all been an experiment, all in the process of creating ourselves. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, especially when you can step out of the concept of time. And you realize we've been doing this dance forever, forever and ever and ever and ever. Okay? Now, as far as initiating mentorship, I bless you. I was asked at the Awaken Aware conference for Project Camelot to float it. In other words, to put it out there. They wanted to see, the Andromedans and the other groups wanted to see what would happen with the idea of it moving out through consciousness. Okay, I've been asked to take it to another step now. They are excited about this, because this mentorship is literally our initiation into a much larger galactic family, which I can't even tell you how incredible it is. And it isn't anything where we need in any way, shape, or form to feel inferior about. In fact, we are really, despite everything else, we are really pretty far along. An example. In mentoring, one of the things that the group will do is they will discuss spirituality. Now, in discussing this, I have been told that there will be at least 4 or more perspectives on spirituality that will be presented to us, not just one. They all have things in common, but different civilizations have different ways of expressing themselves. And there isn't just one way to express yourself. This is a very touchy subject, which is why I'm bringing it up first, regarding spirituality. Okay, these are not religions. These are not dogmas. These are things that you will be able to test yourself, prove to yourself about yourself. Okay? It'll be about the science of the soul. Hard physical proof that you do exist as a soul. So there's no more question. You know you live beyond. You know that you retain consciousness. You know that you have cellular memory. And the reason you have cellular memory in your bodies is because of your soul. All of this will be shown to us, proven, so that we will, beyond a shadow of a doubt, know that we don't have to go to hell, that we aren't going to hell, that we aren't going to go to purgatory. None of that crap. It's bunk. It's all bunk. Okay? We can let go of that dogma. That's done. Okay? There is karma, but we set that up for ourselves. Those are all lessons. But you can balance those things. And we'll cover that a little bit. Technology. There was a lot of things that I had a lot of questions regarding technology, free energy, things of that nature. According to Mornay, we pretty much have most of what we already need. It's just been suppressed in the technology sphere. In fact, we have technology now that we're using every day that we could improve dramatically to make it last forever. Circuit boards. There are things apparently we can do with circuit boards that we use today that in our narrow short-sightedness, we're not implementing to its fullest capacity or potential. So we have most of what we need here. Planetology, what they call planetology, which we call geology here, is when you talk about energy, they would teach us the cycles of the earth. How oil is created, petroleum is created, fossil fuels are created, and essentially what those cycles are. So that if we decided to stay with those, we would be able to rotate between fossil fuels, natural gas, solar, etc. So there would not be any disharmony. We would not overuse the Earth's resources in any way, shape, or form. But we don't know those sciences. All we do is we find it, we pump it out of the hole, we fill it full of seawater, and then we move on. Okay? Wrong answer. Okay? Electricity. We have electric cars. There is technology that already exists that can be improved. They literally do not have to give us anything else at the moment except ideas that we can create. Their thoughts were, why aren't all the major cities inside the cities using electric vehicles? Because you're traveling short distances inside major cities. Why not use electric there? And then use petroleum on the outside for longer distance and for shipping, things like that, at least to start. They have so many suggestions that we could use right off the bat. The biggest change, the biggest mentoring would be in health. They have a camera, a holographic camera. And it was interesting, Mr. Millen Thomas made reference to this last night in his talk. They have this camera, and I've talked about this in the past, where they take a picture of you, and it's a holographic camera. It's you from inception to now, physical. They can take this slide out, this holographic slide, and they can look at your body in sequences, and they can pull areas where your body was the strongest, whether it be liver, kidneys,